was working on communication, and he was from physics department. I happened to make a very simple inquiry. I said, Professor, what is it that you're working on? What part of communication do you mean? He said, no ma'am, I just want to tell you that when A is talking to B, A is really not talking what he wants to talk to B, and B is not understanding what A wants to talk to him, and A is not really able to understand what B wants to understand, and B doesn't really know what A is communicating. I understand what communication, I said. You realize this is communication. This is the communication between all of us. Don't say that at the end of tomorrow. Something must have entered, because we are using the Lord's words. These are not my words. I'm just a courier messenger. HMV, her master's voice. That's what I am. Acharyas have spoken before me. Great men have spoken before me. The recording has been done faithfully, and I present it to you. Endaro mahanubhavulu andariki vandanamuduhu. Many men have spoken before me. Many great ones have spoken on the Gita. We are only repeating, very simple repetition of the great mastermind. That's all that we are doing. And who is replying to whom? Jivatma kare sawal, Paramatma hai deta jawab. Jivatma kare sawal, Paramatma hai deta jawab.
Jivatma kare sawal, Paramatma hai deta jawab.
ये गीता का संदेश अनोखा है. If you have a doubt and you find people around you are incapable of answering, don't go to anybody. Don't get confused. Open the Gita. The Gita speaks to you in first person singular. I am not making a dogmatic assertion. Tomorrow morning, when you are rising from bed and you have a question, open the Gita and the answer will come to you. If you don't get the right answer, don't invite me to Bangalore again. Don't invite me. The Lord speaks. The Gita opens at a page which reflects your mental condition, no doubt. For years together I have tried it. For years together. I walked into an old library in Moscow, very old library, and there was a Sanskrit section. And I asked the Lord, do you really care for me, Master? An old book, 100-year-old book, which was there, copy of the Gita, and I opened it. It opened at Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Ejana Paryupasate Tesham Nityabhyuktanam Yogakshemam Vahamyam. In the cold of Moscow, in the snow of Moscow, I opened a tattered book. That is how the Lord speaks. Nobody had opened that book for several years, you can imagine. It opens at that page. How does it open? No bookmark. Nobody had handled that book before. The Lord speaks. The Lord speaks. Every day's problem. The word that you utter will be found in the translation which you read. You let me know after you tried it yourself. It's a very personal dialogue between the Lord. Don't ask the press reporter to come or the videographer. It's between you and the Maker. More intimate than the intimacy between a husband and wife. This is the intimacy between the Maker and the maid. Talk to him. Talk to him. And he speaks to you. His voice is there. Master, says Arjuna, man doesn't want to commit a wrong. Man knows what is wrong. Man knows what is sinful, and yet he is forced to commit sin. What is the reason? Bhaskarji, you are in charge of law and order. Do you think all those who are breaking law love to break law? No. Somewhere in their heart, go and meet criminals. Somewhere in their heart, there is a strange helplessness. I don't know why I committed murder. I don't know why I took to this life. I didn't want to be a terrorist. I didn't want to break the law. I wanted to be a good citizen. I wish I had the opportunity to be a good citizen. Then my musician brothers invited me to Varda. One of their friends took us to a prison. And I spoke to the prisoners there. And as I was speaking, so many had tears in their eyes. And I said, if I had met them before their crime, they would not be in prison then. Before the crime had been committed, somebody had told them not to commit crime. They would not have committed. That's why Galsworthy felt behind every criminal is a history of helplessness. If somebody had guided these criminals, they would not have landed up as criminals. Arjuna is asking the representative question, why does a man commit sin? Atha kena prayuktoyam
अथ केन प्रयुक्तोऽयम्
पापं चरति पूरुषः
पापं चरति पुरुषः
अनिच्छन् अपि वार्ष्णेया
अनिच्छन् अपि वाष्णेया
बलादिव नियोजितः.
बलादिव नियोजितः.
Third chapter, 36th verse, if you have the Gita with you. अथ केन प्रयुक्तोऽयम्
अथ केन प्रयुक्तोऽयम्
पापं चरति पूरुषः
पापं चरित पुरुषः
अनिच्छन् अपि वार्ष्णेया
अनिच्छम् अपि वाष्णेया
बलादिव नियोजितः.
योजितः.
All of you can join me. अथ केन प्रयुक्तोऽयम्
अथ केन प्रयुक्तोऽयम्
पापं चरति पूरुषः
पापं चरति पुरुषः
अनिच्छन् अपि वार्ष्णेया
अनिच्छम् अपि वाष्णेया
बलादिव नियोजितः.
बलादिव नियोजितः.
अथ केन प्रयुक्तः अयं पापं चरति पुरुषः अनिच्छन् अपि वार्ष्णेया बलात् इव नियोजितः. O Varshneya, please tell me, Krishna, from the Vrishni Vamsha you are, why does man commit a sin? Kena prayuktoyam purushaha, ayam purushaha, kena prayuktoyam papam charati. By whom is he forced, driven to commit a sin? Anichannapi Varshneya. He doesn't want to commit a sin. A murderer does not want to murder. One who takes to violence does not like violence, and yet he does it. Baladiva niyojitaha. What is it that is forcing him? What is it that is propelling him? What is it that is impelling him? What is it that is making him do things against his will? Anichannapi Varshneya. Baladiva niyojitaha. That is why after committing a crime, everyone has belated wisdom. I wish I had not done so. I wish I had not committed a sin. All of us feel sorry after we have done the wrong thing. It can be a small crime, it can be a big one, it can be a tiny little sin which is going to just affect ourselves, or it can be a big one which is going to affect society around us. Krishna is all kindness, all concern. Whenever a child comes to you, with how much love you talk to him, if you have cared for the child, if you have concern for the child, the father has concern, the mother has compassion. She tells the child, I understand, my dear, I understand. Sometimes Krishna is a father, sometimes he is a creator, sometimes he is a scourge, sometimes he is a warning, sometimes he is a threat, sometimes he is a beloved, sometimes he is a friend, sometimes he is a mother. These are the multiple roles of Krishna in the Gita. Multiple roles. Each word from Krishna can be analyzed according to the tone of Krishna. Don't read Gita in the most sing-song way. Dharma kshetre guru kshetre samaveta yuyutsavah mamata pandavachaiva kima kurvata sanjaya. You may get punya, but you don't get the understanding of the Gita through this. Athakena prayuktoyam papam charati purushaha anichannapi varshneya baladiva niyojitaha. And Krishna says, Kama yesha krodha yesha rajo guna samudbhavaha mahashano mahapapma vidyenam iha vairinam Kama yesha krodha yesha rajo guna samudbhavaha mahashano mahapapma vidyenam iha vairinam kama yesha krodha yesha rajo guna samudbhavaha mahashano mahapapma vidyenam iha vairinam Kama eshaha krodha eshaha rajoguna samudbhavaha rajasaha gunat samudbhavaha yasyasaha rajoguna samudbhavaha mahashanaha mahat ashanam yasyasaha mahashanaha mahapapma vidhi yenam iha vairinam. It's very simple, Arjuna. It's kama, it is lust, it is hate, it is krodha. Kama yesha krodha yesha. Everyone who commits a sin knows knows not why he is committing a sin, and yet he does so. What is the reason, Krishna? The answer is, it is lust, it is anger, and both are the results of Rajoguna. Bhagwan Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba says, there are no people in the world, there are only 3 gunas. The entire world is only a play and drama of the 3 gunas. You and I don't exist. All of us now, where are we sitting? In pure Sattva Guna. You don't feel like hitting me, I don't feel like hitting you. You don't feel like sleeping, I don't feel like sleeping. All of us are awake to reality, and there's only one supreme reality, and that is Zari ki pagdi bandhe. It is the Lord who is sitting with us. Zari ki pagdi bandhe, sundari aankhon wala.
Ki pagdi bandhe, sundari aankhon wala.
Sundari lage bihari, kitno lage nirala.
Kitno sundar lage bihari, kitno lage nirala.
कभी चमके हीरे की बाली, कभी मोतियन की माला.
चमके हीरे की बाली, कभी मोतियन की माला.
कितनो सुंदर लागे बिहारी, कितनो लागे निराला. He's only one in our heart, your heart and my heart. Only He. That's why all of us are sattvic. But then there are moments when we say, I want to kill him, I want to get rid of him, I want to kill him, I want to finish him. Arey kaun kisko finish karta hai? The Lord finishes everybody. He is the all-devouring master of the world. In the 11th chapter of the Gita, Arjuna says, I see you standing there with a massive mouth, devouring generations. That is the Lord, devouring, masticating generations, chewing generations, masticating generations. That's what He is doing. The Lord is telling Arjuna, Kamayesha, Krodhayesha, Rajoguna Samudbhavaha. There are 3 gunas, Arjuna. The Sattva guna is one when you have absolute calmness, understanding, peace, non-violent gunas. The Rajoguna is when you are violent, when you want to finish people, take revenge, and there is a lot of steam to be let out. The Tamoguna is when you don't want to do anything, when you want to be lazy, in the spiritual sense of the term, take no ethical decision, don't make life useful in the moral sense of the term. What is Kama and Krodha born of? Kama and Krodha are 2 sides of the same coin. What you love is what you love most, what you desire passionately. If that is denied, you get angry. Simple example, you tell your child when it has got tonsils problem, no ice cream today. The child says, I hate you, Mama. The Kama has become Krodha. It's a simple example. Kama becomes Krodha. Kamayesha, Krodhayesha, Rajoguna Samudbhavaha. It is born out of Rajoguna. And what are the other qualities of this? Mahashano, Mahapapma. It is all consuming. Whatever you throw into it, it will swallow. And it is all polluting. Mahapapma. It is vicious and vitiating. That is what it is. Kamayesha, Krodhayesha, Rajoguna Samudbhavaha. And what is it? The Lord says, Vidhi enam iha vairinam. That is why I took it up as the enemy. The enemy outside, Dushasana, Duryodhana are temporary enemies. This is the permanent enemy who will follow you through all the births. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabhaha. Don't worry about small little enemies who come and go. Think of the permanent enemy who is seated within you. In the Ramayana, Sri Rama is about to be crowned by Dasharatha, and Dasharatha's coronation plan gets nullified because he is a Kami. He is overcome by female charm. He will give in to a woman's charm, and he will give up the ethical standards which he has accepted in life. The one that plans the coronation which is successful is a man called Shatrugno Nitya Shatrugnaha. Shatrughna has always been accompanied by epithet Nitya Shatrugnaha. 24 hours he has conquered Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. They are seated in his heart and all the time crushed by him. Only he is qualified to crown the Lord. What a lovely definition of winning the inner battle. He who has won the inner battle alone can make Sri Rama sit on the Ikshvaku throne and wear the crown of Ikshvakus. When I think of the Lord seated there, Raghuvamshanayak baithe hain. Raghuvamshanayak baithe hain. Raghuvamshatinha sun piyaj.
Raghuvamshanayak baithe hain.
रघुवंश सिंहासन पे आज, हाथ विराजे जानकी और सर पे है इक्ष्वाकु ताज। हाथ विराजे जानकी और
सर पे है
इक्ष्वाकु ताज। रघुवंश नायक बैठे रघुवंश सिंहासन पे आज। Who can crown Sri Rama? Who is ethical excellence non-pareil? Only one who has conquered his weaknesses. Only one who has won the inner battle. The Lord does not give so much importance to Duryodhana, Dushasana, Karna and Shakuni as he does to Kama and Krodha. They are one and the same. Lust or desire which is excessive when thwarted results in anger. Udiya Babaji, who happens to be the guru of Akhananji Maharaj, says Esha, Kama Esha, Krodha Esha, which means palpable reality, demonstrative pronoun. Esha, ide. This one, ye hi hai. Esha, Kama Esha, Krodha Esha, demonstrative pronoun, specific, particular, palpable. काम अनंत भोगों का उपभोग करने पर भी शांत नहीं होता, इसलिए ये महाशनहा. It is one that can never be satisfied. The more people want, the more they have, the less satisfied they are. People say, oh, let me enjoy more and more and one day I'll give up. You will never give up. Because the bhogas never give you up. Where Bhartrihari is concerned, he says, bhoga na bhukta vayame va bhukta. It is not pleasures which were enjoyed, we were worn out by pleasures. They are going to wear us out. Somewhere you have to draw the line. And that is where tomorrow we'll talk of not suppression but sublimation. That will be the topic for tomorrow, which will take you from karma to sublimation. Moksha has one obstacle, and that is karma. Never allow karma to come into your life. Enormous desire, overpowering desire, devouring desire, devastating desire can be very harmful for a sadhaka. And then the Lord says, Dhume navriyate vanni Yatha darsho malena cha Yathol benavrito garbha Tatha tene damavritam Dhume navriyate vanni Yatha darsho malena cha Yathol benavrito garbha Tatha tene damavritam Dhume navriyate vanni Yatha darsho malena cha Yathol benavrito garbha Tatha tene damavritam Dhumena avriyate vannihi Yatha adarshaha malena cha Yatha ulbena avritat garbha Tatha tena idam avritam. There are three examples. People generally talk of Upama Kalidasasya. But if you have patience, you should see the analogies in the Gita. Each one of the analogies is very important, very commonsensical, something which is very revealing. There are three analogies here. Just as smoke envelops fire, just as dust covers the mirror, just as the amnion covers the embryo, that is how jnana, this indweller of the heart, if the soul is covered by kama. Kama envelops us. Kama esha, krodha esha. It shrouds us. It shrouds the inner self. Like what? Three examples. Udiya Babaji calls the three examples representing all the three gunas. Smoke envelops fire. He takes it as the sattva guna. Where the sattva guna person is concerned, the fire and the smoke, they make a very simple envelope. The moment you blow twice into the smoke is gone and the fire emanates. Where the sattvic person is concerned, for him getting over karma is easy. Getting over karma for him is easy. 1 minute he can get over it, just as the smoke can be removed and the fire can blaze forth. The second example, dust covering the mirror, that is the rajoguna. It takes some time for you to take a tissue paper, to take a cloth, wipe the mirror. It takes some effort. That is for the rajoguna. But then the amnion which is enveloping the embryo, you know how difficult it is to bring it into the world, remove it and save the baby. That is how you find it is in the case of the tamoguna. For the tamoguna, you need a lot of effort to bring the tamoguna person out of kama. For whom is it easy? For a person like Hanumanji. In the Sundarakanda, Sri Hanuman is passing through the entire length and breadth of Ravana's harem. He sees beautiful mother Mandodari, mistakes her for a while to be Sita, then feels sorry for his hasty misconclusion, and passes on to see beautiful women, damsels in their bedchamber, with disheveled hair and disarrayed clothes. None of these women is aware that a confirmed bachelor is taking a night journey through their harem. None of them knows. A confirmed bachelor, looking out for Mother Sita, he finds women are embracing the Veena, falling on each other. Sometimes their clothes are out of place, sometimes their garments are out of place, sometimes their jewels are out of place, and someone is hugging a mridangam, someone is fast asleep, someone is muttering something in her sleep. There's been so many types of women. At the end of it, he comes out of the harem and says, I did not find Mother Sita. How come my mind was not affected? He realizes that one whose mind is set on Sita cannot be affected by kama. When you're in search of a high goal, how can ordinary things tempt you? My dear children, youngsters who are gathered here, I approach you with folded hands. Have noble goals in life. Always aim at a star. Never at ordinary things in the world. When your aims are high, when your ambitions are noble, your paths will be bereft of lust and anger. Your path will be a pilgrim's progress towards the master of the heaven, and your path will be crowned by success because dharma is guiding you and not kama. Where Sri Rama and Sri Krishna are concerned, both these incarnations are teaching us about kama and dharma. When in the Sundarakanda, Hanumanji enters Ravana's court, I can never forget the scene. Hanumanji is guided into the court, and as he comes, he sees Ravana on the throne. One man with one diadem is impressive. Imagine one man with 10 heads and 10 diadems. 10 crowns. He sits there, all pride, all pelf, all prosperity, all power. And Hanumanji looks at him and says, Aho Rupam, Aho Dhairyam, Aho Sattvam, Aho Tyutihi, Aho Rakshasa Rajasya, Sarvalakshana Yuktata. Who is praising? The one who praises Sri Rama is praising Ravana. And what does he say? What power, what pelf, what prosperity, and what glory? Are you praising Ravana, sir? No. Yadi adharmo na balavan syad, syadayam rakshaseshvaraha, syadayam suralokasya, sashakrasya picha rakshita. If only he did not have kama in him, he would have conquered even Indra in his heavens, says the Ramayana. This man could have conquered Indra in his heavens, but kama is going to nullify his glory. It is kama which is going to nullify his glory. Mandodari comes running when the heads of Ravana are rolling in the dust. Lakshmana and Sri Rama can face warriors, not widows. They are sad to see this beautiful woman whose face has not been exposed to sunlight or wind till now. She comes running and says, my husband, my glorious husband, when you conquered your sense organs, you conquered the world, and when they conquered you, you are dust laden now. Indriyani purajitva jitam tribhuvanam tvaya. When you conquered your sense organs, you could carry Kailasa in your hand. Only the great poet of India can describe. Suddenly Kailasa was shaking, and Mother Parvati went into a voluntary embrace of Shiva. She said, Master, there's an earthquake. He says, no, my love. Our son wants to see us in close embrace, and his name is Ravana. This was the glory of Ravana. One who carried Kailasa in the palm abducts a woman against her will. What a fall there was, my dear. What a fall there was. Why? Because of kamayesha, krodhayesha, rajoguna samudbhavaha. When a man falls a prey to despicable lust and anger, This is what happens. He has been conquered by his sense organs and he has fallen. To give you the contrast, go to that lovely scene called the Rasa Leela, which is the conquest of Kama. Which is the conquest of Kama. My Vidya Guru, Srinathji Maharaj of Vrindavan, told me, Premaji, please go and tell your audience that one day Cupid challenged Krishna and said, Krishna, let's have a battle. Let's have a war between you and me. The Lord says, yes. Where shall we have it? In open field or in a fortress? It will be an open field. The moon will shine. The breeze will blow. The jasmines will wax fragrance in the breeze. And the Yamuna will flow. The soft sands of the Yamuna will be lilting with the music of my flute. 100,000 women will be dancing. And yet I'll be Ishvara, Yogeshvara, Yogeshwareshvara, Mahayogeshwareshvara. You cannot conquer me, Cupid, because I am the Cupid of Cupids. Kesha, Pasha, Drita, Pinchika, Vitati, Sanchalan, Makara, Kundalam, Harajala, Vanamalika, Lalitam, Angaraga, Ghana, Saurabham, Krita, Chela, Drita, Kanchi, Kanchitam, Udanchadam, Shumani, Nupuram, Rasa, Keli, Paribhushitam, Tavahi, Rupamisha, Kalayamani, Kesha, Pasha, Drita, Pinchika, Vitati, Sanchalan, Makara, Kundalam, Harajala, Vanamalika, Lalitam, Angaraga, Ghana, Saurabham, Krita, Chela, Drita, Kanchi, Kanchitam, Udanchadam, Shumani, Nupuram, Rasa, Keli, Paribhushitam, Tavahi, Rupamisha, Kalayamahi. What does it mean? Conquest of Kama, that is all. Cupid stands for Kama, and the conquest of Kama is the Rasa Leela. That is why sannyasins listen to the Rasa Leela, so that they can easily conquer Kama. You and I listen to Rasa Leela, so that we can conquer Kama. Sri Krishna blows sweet music from the flute. My Vidya Guru Srinathji Maharaj said, please note, Bhagavan Apitaratri, Sharadotpulla Mallika, Vikshya Rantum Manaschakre, Yogamayam Upashritaha. And when he blew sweet music, what did he do? He took away the minds of the gopis. Nishamya Geetam, Tadananga Vardhanam, Brajastriya, Krishna Grihita Manasa. Jagmuranyunyamalakshitodyama Prayatra kanto Javalola kundala Nishamya Geetam Sadananga Vardhanam. They had so much love for Krishna, but that love had to be purified, so the Lord took away their minds. The mind is the seat of Kama, and when the mind is taken away by the Lord, the Kama becomes Prema. The Kama gets sublimated. That is why the Rasa Leela is about the conquest of Kama. I call it an aesthetic battle, sir, an aesthetic battle. There is an inner battle that goes on in the life of the gopis, and they are happy because the Lord has taken away. Krishna Grihita Manasa. The organizers here said that 6 o'clock is the Katha. I am sure by 4 o'clock your minds have reached here, wondering which row to occupy and where to get a look at this woman who is performing feats on the dais, who is appearing as Krishna, appearing as Rama, appearing as Ravana, appearing as Hanuman. No? You want to have a close look at the speaker. So already your mind has reached here. Your mind reaches first, then your body reaches thereafter. If your mind has reached Krishna, Matrainam Kamangal, Matrelo and make the Kama into Prema. Sublimate, sublimate. The gopis did this by conquering Kama. Bhattadri says, what a lovely combination. Where gopis are concerned, they have Kama and Prema for the same person. And that happens to be the Lord. In our life, we have Kama for one person and Prema for the Lord. In the case of the gopis, the Kama and Prema are for one the same person, so Kama becomes Prema. It becomes sublimated because of their desire for the Lord. Sri Krishna is telling us that the manas, which is the seat of passion, is now filled with grace, hence it is naturally purified. No wonder other enemies which are there, they are to be reckoned with, because other enemies which are physical can be killed by warriors with gross weapons. But there is a permanent enemy called Kama,
a fire insatiable, an enemy to be reckoned with. And that envelope jnana of the jnani, it has never been quenched. The more you give it, the more it will desire. The Lord in the 39th stanza is telling us, Avritam jnanametena jnanino nitya vairina kamarupena kaunteya dushpurena nalena cha avritam jnanametena jnanino nitya vairina kamarupena kaunteya dushpurena nalena cha. Keep your mouth open and chant Sanskrit. Keep your mouth closed and chant English.